cryptic, really.
They weren't that cryptic. I remember Fred Dinage went up there a couple of times, and another Fred was in the programme.
Flintstone.
Fred Flintstone, yeah, he was up there. He's a cartoon character. I know the difference between minor celebrities in space and cartoon characters. I'm not an idiot. Anyway.
Shall we vote?
What?
What is the difference?
What's the difference? Well, cartoon characters have been drawn on cells and animated, and real minor celebrities are more interesting. Yeah.
No, real.
This was the 1980s. Minor celebrities had, in the 80s, minor celebrities were brilliant. You had
many memorable names.
Timmy Mallet. And Janet Ellis.
Blue Peter.
Anneka Rice. I don't understand what it is, Kenneth. Can someone tell me? That was my impression of. What was that programme when they used to fly about in a helicopter solving clues?
Challenge Annika.
No, not Challenge Annika. Treasure Hunt. Thank you.
Oh.
Yes, it was. No. I think you'll find Challenge Annika fell out of my latest shout out, which I've temporarily forgotten. Treasure Hunt. Yeah, Kenneth Kendall. It's a really stupid programme. Anyway, in space, we're back in space. The planet that they were sent to, I don't do this for money, was inhabited by dragons. And these dragons can... Who invented this? They could change shape. And one of the shape-changing dragons was called Uncle, who was apparently an uncle. They only had one family in space. It's probably all the BBC could afford. And also, they could only afford to buy a plant, because at one point the uncle changed into a plant and he didn't change handily for the BBC back again. Because, you know, it's very difficult to make dragon costumes. They'd spent a lot of money on the Doctor Who budget, so they only had some string and a yoghurt pot left. The yoghurt gone. So, Anneka Rice had been looking at it for clues. For some spurious reason I now can't. Anyway, the uncle used to make this particular noise when he was spoken to. I can't remember any of the other characters, apart from it's like a mouse thing that went in a tunnel. I don't know what that was about. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is my impression of Uncle from the 1980s programme I've just talked about, the Adventure Game. Honestly, the build-up is really worth it for the odd 10 seconds you're about to see. Actually, 10 seconds is long, isn't it? I've had stand-up comedy training in it. Here! Twice.
And when's the next one?
There's never going to be a next one.
Read the plot.
Was that it?
Read the plot.
Hey!
I haven't done it yet.
Oh, sorry.
Read the plot.
Exciting.
Do you remember Whack-A-Day? When Timmy Mallet would hit people with a foam hammer.
I think the plot did...
What haven't they called him yet? Anyway, who's up next, please? Someone help me. Because the plants just get bigger and the impressions just get worse. Because next is Day of the Triffids. Which involves me spitting in your eyes and blinding you, which isn't as fun, to be honest.
What I love about that sort of the impression you just did there was 20 years ago, everyone was like, hey! And they were like,
Don't say it wasn't 20 years ago, Menta. It wasn't 20 years ago.
It was.
That's 30 years ago.
No, he means the 8, yes. He means me doing the impression on stage, not the Adventure Game.
About 10 years ago.
It's about time they brought the Adventure Game back, because it was,
Adventurous.
It was good. They had a thing called the Vortex, where they had to make their way across with an invisible, that was handy as well, an invisible being, and try and rescue a cheese sandwich or something.
That's right.
It's all very ridiculous, wasn't it? They used to put the celebrities in a cupboard and go, right, you're all off to space now, in this cupboard. Thanks, Red Tiny, ciao. Anyway.
Basically, People's Book.
No, that was Blockbusters. That was Bob Carroll's from Blockbusters, do you remember? Wholeness, yeah. Bob Carroll's from Blockbusters. And then he was on Tiswas and he had Fiona Phillips on his hands and she used to spit at the children.
That's the one.
I can't really remember the 80s, I was only small. I was born in 74. I was born in 1974, which means I grew up technically in the 90s. Which was awful. They didn't have programmes like the Adventure Game in the 90s. They had...
I never knew you grew up technically.
Yeah, I grew up by the book. It was a manual. Please, for the love of God, someone come up and do something.
Have we reached the end?
I think we may well have reached the end. Do you want to... Hey, what? Oh.
The last one.
The microphone decided...
It's a sign, Tingley, it's a sign.
I think we should end it, Brian.
Okay.
But though you have been marvellous... I think I just depressed everybody with that. Reminded them how old you all are. Do you know what? The BBC couldn't even afford to do that. It just used to sit on a table with a prop man just going, for God's sake, I'm rattling this plant.
Trivets that can walk.
Well, no,
Not really.
Bananas?
Bananas can walk.
What? Just up and down stairs, but they're limited to that.
Banana plants walk.
Bananas are herbs. This isn't some sort of competition or something. Any more facts about bananas?
They won't.
The banana plants don't walk.
They do.
They drift.
They won't.
They drift about. They don't care. They just drift from place to place. No, they just drift as banana plants. They can't hold down a day's job. They just got fruit hanging off them. And then it's not even fruit, it's a herb. And they're yellow, for goodness sake. Well, of course fruit has to have a job.
Walking, then.
Yeah, walking. The amount of times I've been down the job centre and standing behind about 4 banana plants. So, what talents have you got? Well, apparently I can walk and I'm a herb. Well, you're welcome to come to this job where you can walk about and be a herb. Right, for God's sake. Thank you very much, everybody. You've been marvellous. I'm sorry about the rambling at the end. Give yourselves a round of applause. So tomorrow night there will be a show in the main theatre, and then there will be a fire show, and then there will be a renegade, and then there will be a children's show on Sunday, and then there will be the games. Thank you very much. It's nice to see you all again. We missed you all last year. We missed everybody last year, wasn't it?
Richard, toilets and showers around the back.
Oh, apparently the toilets are open.
Yay!
Round the back, if you want to have a shower to wash some of this off. Okay.
Toilet's open. You want to have a shower?
No, I'm trying to leave the microphone. I'm really trying to go. I can't let me go. Please let me go, Brett.
Richard.
That's a joke.
My whole life is a joke. I really try, you know.
The toilets and showers will be open round the back when the front closes. So not yet.
Well, it's an extra complication.
Right.
See, that's you telling me false information.
10:30. They open.
Yeah.
Banana plants walk. Do you remember the banana splits? They were on a TV programme. Good night.